Welcome to your Season 15 Blaseball weather forecast. This is the Earlseason. Warning: this video contains forbidden knowledge. Stop watching now if you do not wish to access hidden information. This video would not have been possible without the work of the Society for Internet Blaseball Research. There's a wide range of weathers this Earlseason. Flooding remains high across the whole ILB, but we will also be seeing incidences of the new weather, salmon. We start in Hawaii, where we will see a high risk of flooding with nearly half of the home games played in that weather. There will be repeat appearances from salmon, while Sun 2, Blood Rain, Coffee, Birds and Reverb will also be making their way across the islands. Over in Mexico City, there will only be 6 home games played, but 2/3 of them will be in flooding weather. The remaining games will see a day each of reverb and salmon. Across in Miami, flooding and salmon are the most likely weathers in the Sunshine State this Earlseason. However, Peanuts, Coffee 3s, Sun 2 and Eclipse will each bless one game. Seattle shows an equally high risk of salmon and flooding, experiencing 5 days of each. Peanuts and Reverb both make a double show. We move down the coast to San Francisco, which has a large amount of flooding coming in. Around this, we will also see an influx of salmon, with Coffee 2 coming over the city twice. In Los Angeles, there will only be 6 home games, and each has a different weather. So we will see a variety of Sun 2, Coffee 3s, salmon, feedback, and flooding. So make sure to check outside and dress accordingly. Moving to the Midwest, we see an equal risk of Peanuts, Reverb, and salmon in Charleston. There will also be brief spells of feedback, birds, and flooding. In Yellowstone, the national park will see an equal chance of salmon and flooding this Earlseason. Sun 2, Black Hole, Coffee 2, and feedback will all show twice. The Hellmouth is faced with a huge risk of flooding, with all but 2 games played in this weather. The remaining games will be in Coffee and Coffee 2, so take that opportunity to warm up. Across into Breckenridge now, where flooding will be in the area for 1/3 of the games. There will be repeat breaks in flooding for Sun 2, Feedback and Peanut weathers. Over in Halifax, Canada, the Moist Hawkers boast one of the wettest stadiums in the ILB, with 9 flood warnings for the Earlseason. Aside from this high level of flooding, feedback and salmon are the only repeat weathers. Only 6 home games will be played in Dallas, 1/3 under flooding, 1/3 under black hole, with brief respites for a solar eclipse and Sun 2. Houston has the highest chance of salmon in the ILB this Earlseason, but will also be seeing flooding, Peanuts, Birds, Reverb, and Sun 2 in equal measure. Kansas City has an equal chance of flooding and salmon, each showing for 4 days. The city will see every weather this Earlseason, except Eclipse, Coffee 3s, Peanuts, and Birds. Chicago, however, faces an extreme birds front, seeing the highest chance of birds in the ILB. During their 12 home games, salmon will be in the area twice. Then 1 day each will see Black Hole, flooding, Coffee 2, Peanuts, feedback, and reverb. Ohio holds one of the wettest stadiums in the ILB with 9 flooding matches. Salmon will be the next highest incidence, with everything other than Coffee 3s, Reverb, and Blood Rain being seen at least once. A wild weather warning has been issued for Core, which only hosts 6 home games and each will see a different weather. So watch out for Eclipse, flooding, Coffee 3s, Peanuts, and salmon. Boston will have equal showing from solar eclipse, flooding, and blood rain, having the highest amount of eclipses in the Earlseason. However, the city will not see Black Hole, Coffee 3s, Birds, or salmon. Philadelphia will see half of the home games flooded, but besides this, blood rain will be the only weather to make a repeat appearance. 1/3 of the matches in New York will be played in flooding, and the city will also see the most reverb in the ILB, with 3 games each of reverb and salmon. Flooding has the highest incidence in Baltimore, with Coffee 2 and feedback 1 game behind. The Crabs have the most coffee too of any stadium, but we will also see Sun 2, Solar Eclipse, Blood Rain and Peanuts. Tokyo has an equal chance of flooding or feedback, then an equal chance of peanuts or salmon. There will be one game each of Black Hole and Coffee. Hell is most likely to see flooding, with Reverb and Salmon both appearing more than once. Atlantis is the final joint wettest stadium in the ILB, hosting 9 flooding games. There will be a salmon front pushing up, followed by Sun 2, where Atlantis will see the most incidences of Sun 2 in the Earlseason. In your Earlseason forecast, take care as flooding remains high and we wait to see what effect salmon will have on the league. Check back in for your mid-season forecast soon, but until then, rejoice, play ball.